Candy Cody.
Candy Cody, see me. Manifest my dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, so questions when they see me. So guys, they think I got a genie. Candy Cody, secret, you see me. Manifest my dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, so questions when they see me. So guys, they think I got a genie. 213, a star was born. Keep us in the light and she passed it on. With arms whites and Miss Candy Cody on a different vibration, so you know I'm floating. We're not the same, I'm not a game. You match NG, I shift chakra. Not least the keys, but I'm on fire. Be more bread, home with a wire. Candy Cody, secret, you see me. Manifest my dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, so questions when they see me. So guys, they think I got a genie. Candy Cody, secret, you see me. Manifest my dreams, they wanna be me. How I do it, so questions when they see me. So guys, they think I got a genie. I am like dopamine, you can't control this substance. You don't want smoke me, you couldn't handle my substance. He gave me life and assured me abundance. I don't speak broke, sis, I am abundant. My ex, yeah, he's a clown, making fake pages to watch me now. Climbing to the top, they can't stop me now. Got so much sauce, trying to slurp me now. Got my foot on their necks, and I ain't letting up. They stomp the yard, tell them step it up. Got my foot on their necks, and I ain't letting up. They stomp the yard, tell them step it up. 2 shows, 3 magazines, been on the radio, I'm not stopping. Wrote a book, best-selling author, my God keeps me popping. I'm affiliate, a life coach, my stock keeps on rising. Wednesdays at 8 o'clock on Facebook, they're watching. Candy Cody. Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to another week. Another week we are in here. Oh my gosh, why did I do the camera this way? Like, I'm just seeing something that I didn't mean to say, mean to do. Anyway, how y'all doing? It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. We are, can you believe it? We are 19 days into March. I feel like April is right around the corner. We are almost done. We're going to get into some things that is going on around the world. Make sure you share the show. Say hi to me in the comments. Tap the screen, share it. We are live on everything tonight. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, the group, everywhere. Boop-de-boo, whoop-de-boo. If I'm there, you're there. We're there. All there together. So shout-outs. Last week, shout-outs to YouTube. Everybody showed up on YouTube last week. Shout-outs to y'all. Hey, Benita, how are you? How you doing? And hey, TikTok, how you guys doing tonight, TikTok? And make sure when you come in, you don't be afraid to say hello. How is everybody week doing? How is everybody's 2024 going? Oh, hey, Brittany girl. Haven't seen you in a long time. Shout outs to you on TikTok. What you been doing? Make sure you guys share the show out tonight. We are almost over, okay? 2020, I feel like 2024 is leaving, okay? I feel like it's, hey, Tremaine, girl. Well, hey, look what the devil then flew in. How you doing this evening, tonight? Look, I don't know how long you're going to be here. You stick around. We're going to get into some things, some of them things that you be liking, girl. You know how you be feeling about the law. You know the segregation stuff, girl. But let me know where you guys are watching in from tonight. Where you guys tuning in from, you know, share the show, join the Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, subscribe to YouTube, come over to TikTok, go over to Facebook, join in the conversation, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's see. I'm good. How have you been? It's 2025. Yes, I'm super excited. 2025 so far has been really, really good. As you guys may have seen today, you know, today is my my daughter's birthday. Yay, shout outs to her. That's my baby. Whoop, 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 whoop. You said, you know, I pop in and out, just enjoying my new promotion. Oh, well, shout out to you on a new promotion. Y'all, Brittany got a new promotion over here on TikTok, y'all. Tap that screen. What's the position? We all about elevation over here, okay? Girl, go ahead, get that coin, okay? Get that coin. I hope you're telling people what to do, you know, okay? People don't like nobody, tell them what to do. But yeah, so today is my daughter's birthday, so that's been really, really
fun. Y'all, just to share before we get into it. Oh, I was a little teary-eyed. I started crying and stuff yesterday. Just going through the motions. I was texting my sister. I was like, girl, you'd have thought it was my birthday. Then I texted my daughter, like, girl, I'm in here crying. She was like, wow, are you sad? Are you okay? Do you want some company? You want me to come over? I'm like, girl, no, it's your birthday tomorrow. So that was super funny. But I was like, oh, she thought I wanted her to come keep my company. I thought that was so cute. So she said, yes, happy birthday. Yes, girl. I have a grown woman, okay? And let me tell you, so I usually like trinkle her in online, okay? So sometimes I've been asked questions before, so I'm gonna talk about it right now. I think I've talked about it before on like when I've done different interviews on different platforms and stuff like that. But I always post my nephew. Y'all know I always post the boys. I always post Xavier. I don't know. I got a bias. Yes, here it is. I guess y'all gonna be off with my head. I'm a little sexist in this department, okay? So I always post my nephew because he's a boy. Right? I don't know what it is. He's a boy. I guess might be a little ignorant thought. You tell me. I'm not saying that, guys can't get preyed upon by people, but he a boy. And my daughter, she's a girl. And she's a cute. She's cute. You understand? Like, she's mine. That's how I feel. That's what it is. And people are weird. The internet, people be weirdos. I don't ever want anybody to try to, you have people that may try to act like they don't know she's my daughter and all this, or, people may have watched her grow up and then they might start trying to like her, all that. I just, so to avoid all of that, I just don't post her. So I've been like playing peekaboo with her here and there because she's grown. You know what I mean? So I play a little peekaboo. I'm trying to get out of that phase. Do y'all understand? Anybody else out there try to shield their baby from the internet when they're full grown? So she's grown now. So I was like, okay, today I wanted to post. She did her photo shoot. For one, she's always doing a photo shoot. And she did a photo shoot, and her pictures came out stunning, and I wanted to post and share her today. I don't know. I'm not really big on posting, deleting. I might delete it. I don't know, but I wanted to share it. I was in the mood to share today, and I wanted to share that it's her birthday. She gives me a headache, what kid doesn't? But now when people always be like, oh, do you want any more children? Well, why won't she be with a man with kids? Like I said, I've dated people who've had children. It's cool. But it was cool, trying to, because Coach used to always say, step out of your box, Candy. Y'all remember we was doing that show, trying to be for the love of Miss Vibration, child. And I stepped outside my box, and it was cool, and it was okay. However, I like it better over here. So, we went ahead and did that, and now it's like, okay, now you guys can see why I don't want nobody with no babies. I don't have a baby. I don't have to worry about daycare. I don't have to worry about school. I've been out of the school phase with her. All of that stuff. The only thing I need a babysitter for now is this daggone dog. If anybody would have told me that having a dog was just like having a child, I'd have rethought asking for the dog as a gift. But you live and you learn. And definitely be careful what you ask for, because I did not know that this dog was going to be a bill, needing a babysitter, a headache, eating my clothes, eating my shoes, eating my food. He just do everything. But, at the end of the day, he's mine. Okay? So when they say you want more kids, no, I have a puppy. My daughter is grown and I have a puppy. So now y'all can stop asking, well, why don't you want somebody with children? Hey, Tanisha, don't laugh. Girl, because listen, they be going in on me when I be like, I don't want nobody with no kids. And then they be like, well, what if they got grown kids? Listen, I'm at a point where I don't want to share my man, okay? I don't want to share my next relationship. I don't want any of that. Christmas, Thanksgiving, I don't want to be worrying about you having to go over your kid's house. I don't want none of that. You want what you want for you, and I want what I want for me. You know what I'm saying? She said facts. I agree. You get what I'm saying? When you reach that freedom, You don't want that. Like most people keep having kids and keep having them, keep having them, keep having them. Shout outs to y'all. You know, some people just are mothers their entire life. And I think that is beautiful. Being a mother is a beautiful thing. That just was not a calling of mine. You know what I mean? No. Okay. When I think back over my life, like God, if I had all these kids, child, I'd have been crazy. But at the same time, I couldn't wait for her to get out of the diapers. Do y'all remember that? I couldn't wait for her to get out of the Pampers. I remember when she was a baby, I was like, oh my God, milk is so high. I couldn't wait for her to get to the table food phase. Then the Pampers. I couldn't wait for her to get potty trained because I was tired of paying Pampers. And back then, a case of Pampers was only $20. You know what I mean? I would get a case of Pampers for $20. I couldn't wait for her to get out of the pamper phase. Then the daycare phase. Oh my God, the daycare phase seemed to be the longest phase of all the baby phases. You know what I mean? I don't know about y'all, but y'all tell me, you know, the daycare phase seemed to be like the longest phase. Y'all know my nose won't let me be great. It's always itching. The daycare phase was the longest phase of them all. It would not allow me to be great. Okay, fool. I got it on the daycare phase. Then I was like, okay. Then she had the little private school thing going. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for her to go to public school. Let's try public school, you know? Boom, she was in public school. Then she went to public school. She stayed in public school. It was like, okay, we could do this. Then it was like, oh my God, back to school seemed to come every year. You know what I mean? Like every couple months, it was back to school, a project. Then she wanted to do cheerleading. Then she wanted to go to practice. Then that's when she liked to go to Chipotle. Then you got to get the head. It was just a lot. You know what I mean? So I couldn't wait to get past all those phases. I'm not starting over. My children are 23 and 27. See, you feel me. See, I appreciate you because you're honest and you feel where I'm coming from. Girl, I would be crazy. Could you imagine tuning in on here on a Wednesday at 8:00 and you seeing me rocking this baby? You talk about, yeah, y'all. So what we looking at tonight? Well, the day that this happens, I want all of y'all to tune in and type in the comments, girl, you look like a fool. You look at that. You look like a fool. Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. You're looking like a fool with your pants on the ground, okay? Because, so, I just was excited for all those phases. And so, you know, now that she is up there, you know, she drives me crazy. Yes, she does, because she's mine, so she's going to drive me crazy. But I'm just like, now it's not even, it's like, I can deal with this. Now it's, you know, of course, we all go through our irresponsible phase. We all go through our crazy decisions. We all go through our relationship phase. So it's like, all right, girl, now we can relate more. You know what I'm saying? I can do this. You know what I'm saying? We can maneuver. we can maneuver through this a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, okay. But like I said, I be wanting to choke her sometimes, but you know, I wouldn't change it for the world. And yeah, so her birthday is today. And on top of that, you know, my man, Kevin Gates, yes, don't judge me, judge your mother. He dropped his album today on his stepdaughter's birthday. So I thought that was really amazing too. So shout outs to him for doing that for us. So I can't wait to check that out. So yeah, I just can't do that. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying life. I'm traveling. I'm still pursuing, you know, my dreams and my goals. And I'm not saying that children can't do that. And you know, the other thing that I'm proud of, because you know how, you know, history can repeat itself and your children can often fall and follow in your footsteps, right? Make sure y'all tap in the screen. Give me a heart and a thumbs up. Smash the like button on YouTube. I see y'all go over there. Say hello. Don't leave Tata over there hanging by herself. I see y'all over there. TikTok, tap that screen and say hi. You will never see me start over. Okay, Brittany? How many kids you got, Brittany? I feel like you got like 3. You know, I feel like you are like a Brady Bunch. New assistant manager at Annapolis Planned Parenthood. Ladies come in and out. get them pap smears. I know that's right. Well, we all shout out to Brittany. Let's tap the screen for Brittany, girl. Brittany has gotten promoted. Shout outs to her. If you are in the Annapolis area and you need to get your poon poon looked at, go ahead on over to Planned Parenthood up there in Annapolis. Get your pap smear, get your HPV check, get your STD check. Okay. We're going to do all of that. Shout outs to her. Oh, you got two daughters, 18 and 15. Okay. Well, at least they like back to back a little bit. They back to back. So I couldn't do it either. Like I couldn't start over either. So it's just one of those things, like they say, our kids are the age. So I'm just excited because when I was her age, like I was saying, she was 4. Okay, so when I was her age today, she was 4. So I'm excited. Who was she? Let me see. How old is she today? Yeah, she was 4. About to turn 4, actually. And I'm just excited that she doesn't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you know, history can often repeat itself, and we can see these things. And I kind of feel like, especially back then when I got pregnant, it was like, oh, well, she's having a girl. And it was probably like, oh, she's going to end up being a teenage mom too. And so she don't have any children. So shout outs to her for that. Shout outs to that. Shout outs to all, you know, let's check that heart button. Shout outs to all the parents who, you know, were teenage moms and your children made it past the age that you were without kids. Can we brag on that for a minute? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people, I feel like we acknowledge a lot of the stuff, you know, foolishness. Let's brag on that. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but let's brag on that for a minute. For the moms whose children exceeded them. You know what I mean? Shout outs to them for that. And if you don't, look, you feel me? That's what I'm saying. Put some hearts in the chat for the moms with the kids that, you know, your kids ain't, you know, made it past you from when they had children. And just, you know, I feel like, you know, if nobody told you today, or if you haven't felt like you've been doing the best thing or the best job you could do as a parent, I am telling you that you did a good job. You're doing a great job. You know what I mean? And continue to keep it up. It's no handbook on how to be the perfect parent, the perfect friend, the perfect wife, the perfect sister, auntie, whatever, you know. But as far as being a parent, you know, y'all make it look easy, you know. So shout outs to the ones who make looking like a mom, make it look easy. And I want to personally send a shout out to all of y'all. Hey, Kayshawn. I want to personally send a shout out to all of the women out there, you know, that have more than one kid. Okay, this is coming. I'm speaking right now. I'm speaking for the single birth delegation. That's right, the single birth delegation. I have officially nominated myself as the spokesman. Okay, so from the single birth delegation to the, you know, fruitful and multiply. Those of you who listen to the Bible, y'all make it look so easy. Shout outs to y'all. They got more. Oh, thank you for the love, TikTok. Thank you for joining the team. I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you for joining the team with TikTok. Oh, she said, since I had 4 kids. Woo! Girl, go ahead, girl. I know that's right. Like, shout outs to y'all that have multiple, you know, more than one kid. Y'all make it look easy. I don't know how y'all do it, especially if y'all have different dads. How y'all, you know, y'all are strong. Y'all chose to deal with all them different personalities. You know what I mean? And whether you got support for your kids or you didn't get support from their fathers, you know, I take my hat off to any of y'all who was able to continue to do, you know, the back to school nights, the back to school clothes. I couldn't imagine doing back to school clothes for a bunch of kids in the same grade, the same age. I would lose I'm personally telling you, I would lose my mind. I believe that God knows who to give multiple kids to, and y'all are strong. Okay? Okay? Y'all know how to make a meal stretch. Okay? Okay? You know, whether you make a big pot of spaghetti or y'all eating filet mignon every night. So I just want to say shout outs to everybody that has, to all the moms out there that have more than one kid. You know, y'all are good. Y'all are good. So I think y'all are phenomenal. I think y'all are dope. You know, us women, we make the world go round. Um, and you know, you guys have done fantastic job. Look, I don't know, but guess what? I know you tonight. You know, what matter of fact, I'm going to honor some of the wonderful mothers that I do know. How about that? Can we do that today? Okay. Before we get into this chaos around the world, okay. So I would like to shout out and honor first and foremost my mother. Ooh, let's put some hearts in the chats. Let's go, mom, or something. Yes, you know. I would like to shout out my mother who did it with she had us three and she did it on her own, child. I don't know what she did, child. My father with child support check was $25. But that's another topic. That's another topic. Rest his soul. He wasn't nothing, but that's another topic. You know, but my child support was $25. So that's why I be laughing. You know, on a good day it might have been 75. But that's why I be laughing sometimes when I be seeing these guys go off with these child support conversations. I'm like, yo, my father was paying $25 a month. And he owned his own business. But you know, my mom, she did her thing. You understand? She did her thing with us three. We didn't miss a meal. Nothing got cut off. We went out of the country. We went on trips, you know, kept our hair done. A lot of things. So shout outs to my mother for that. I would also like to shout out my sister, Shirley Girl, who also takes care of her kids. You know, she's very militant. Her house is very in order, you know, all of that. She's very military. Her kids is on the schedule. I mean, I ain't never seen nobody more militant than militant get, okay? I think that is very, very dope. She couldn't raise me. But no, I think she's dope with what she does. So I want to, you know, acknowledge her for doing, you know, her job and what she's done. Her son, my nephew, he's about to graduate with his degree in college. Okay. This May, you know what I mean? So single mothers is out here doing anything. Now she did lose her mind 6 years ago coming up because she decided she wanted to push out a baby. You know, it's like an 80-year gap between him and little Nugget. But you know, that's her pride. You know, we listen and we don't judge. You know, but I'm glad she had the babies, so I have to. So shout outs to her. Shout out to my cousin Kim, who raised my little cousin to be the best him that he could be. Shout outs to my friend Handy Man, she married the girl, she raised 4 of them. Y'all understand? She down to the last one, getting out of high school, and I don't know how she do it, you know. But so I take my head off to her. I take my head off. Who else? So it's a Boom Boom. Y'all know Boom Boom. My friend Boom Boom. She's a mom too. She has 2 kids. They're both in high school now. She's a phenomenal mom. If y'all know Boom Boom, if y'all ever been out with me and Boom Boom, y'all know Boom Boom. It don't nothing come before our kids. And funny story. I remember one time we were out at my sister's birthday party. We wanted to keep the party going. You know, black people don't know how to go in the house, especially me when I talk about black people. I don't know how to go in the house. And I wanted to keep the party going. We was all going to keep the party going. And Boom Boom was like, well, I got to get back to my kids. And one of my sisters was like, well, how old are the kids? And she was like, 15 and like 13. Everybody looked at her and was like, what? So funny. So in that moment, you got to see the responsible ones out the crew, okay? Because everybody was like, girl, we thought you were talking about some little kids, them kids, teenagers. So that was super funny. You know, so shout out to her. Shout out to my friend Ray Ray. She's a doctor and her son is phenomenal. My other sisters, TT and Tavy, shout outs to them. They are great. They're raising, one has what, 4, the other one has 2. And she's my other sister that's crazy that started over. Her son's 16 and the baby's 3. I just wanted, shout out to y'all. Shout out to my pastor, but she like me, Pastor. Pastor got her kids and we got it. We keep on going, one and done, and we keep it on doing it. Shout outs to her. She's a great mom. Who else? I know I got some more. I know I got some more great moms out there. So please don't be offended if I miss you. It's nothing personal. Oh, my friend Victoria, she got 3 kids, She got 3 of them. I definitely don't know how she do it. They all like back to back. You know what I'm saying? I take my hats off to them. I mean, y'all give me hope. You understand? I learned from y'all. I learned the first time. I don't gotta keep repeating the same thing over and over. Yes, Benita, yes. She said more like 5 with Kinley, more like 10 with Kinley. You're right. She got like 10 kids. Y'all knows everybody got that one kid that just that used to be me. I was that one kid that but that's right. Right, Benita. She said, don't forget the special needs parents too. Oh my God, yes. Shout out to the special need parents. Y'all are like gifts from God's patience. I have a friend who has a child that has special needs, a few of them. And oh my God, the love, the kindness, the care, the patience. I don't know how y'all do it, but it is a blessing. And shout outs to y'all. And y'all definitely need a support system. Y'all definitely need help in more ways than one. I take my hat off to y'all too, with the patients and the sitters, or the not being able to go anywhere, or when your kids have their tantrums, or the ones who may be bedridden and things like that. Shout outs to y'all. So shout outs to any moms out there with kids with special needs. Y'all are dope. Y'all are the real MVPs. So yeah, so this first, what was that? 20-some, 30-some odd minutes is, yes, bragging on me for doing the thing with my baby, and all of you single moms out there, non-single moms out there, y'all are doing the damn thing. So what we got up? So we're gonna see if you guys engage on this conversation. We'll talk about it. If not, we'll move right along. So here it is today. Someone hit me up and was like, hey, can you talk about it a little bit? So I had to do a crash course on this. Make sure you're tapping the screen and sharing out the show, staying active. Also, what is this? I don't know what this is, but this is making me start a flash thingy. I don't know. On TikTok. Thank you guys. Also, okay, so hey YouTube, I see y'all over there. Okay, so this segregation thing. Are you guys familiar with the segregation thing? So someone hit me up and was like, hey, can you discuss the segregation removal, approval, the neural thing that's going on today? I said, sure, let me brush up on it. So I had to get on the phone with, one of my friends who is like TMZ, who usually give me a crash course on stuff when I have not had the time to research it, because I was in mommy mode and celebrating my daughter all day. And lo and behold, she wasn't the best at her job today either, because she didn't know too much about it. Give me a heart, thumbs up, you guys. Share the show. Do you guys know anything about it? Have you guys been keeping up with it? So apparently there has been a bill. Let's see. Has the bill been revoked? We'll see. They removed it. Prohibition from government. Are you guys familiar with it? Put it in the chat. Let me know, because we can move right along. We know like school, single file. So apparently, okay, let's see. Thank you, Benita. Know what's going on now. I might have heard about it, but under a different topic. Okay, so it's saying that government facilities are no longer segregated facilities are no longer explicitly banned in federal contracts. Okay. This is what it's saying. Okay. Let me do a brief skim. It's a memo that went out. Apparently, it went out in February. And they have I guess it's just now getting leaked to the public that it has been taken away. Let me see. That has been removed. In effect immediately. Federal workers who work on contracts says they were shocked when they received notice about the FAR change from their agency. It says NPR has agreed not to identify the worker because they fear being fired for speaking to the media without authorization. Okay, thank you, TikTok. TikTok is coming through. Basically, the federal government is now allowed to work with companies that choose to have segregation in their businesses. Okay. So basically, you can have segregation in your business. Okay. Thank you. Look, shout out to TikTok. Thank you for summing that up short and brief for me. So how you guys feel about that? Is that a good thing? Not a good thing? So I did see briefly where on TikTok they had mixed feelings about it. I don't know. I don't really look, here you go. Tremanda says shaking my head. I don't really get too involved in the racial stuff a lot. However, I can give you my thoughts on it. My first thought is, Trump is just the face of this, right? This is how I feel. Me. Trump is the face of it. The government, legislature are the ones making these decisions. I feel. You let me know. Do you agree? Do you not agree? What you think? I feel they're the ones that are making these things, that want to revoke these things, that want to change all of this stuff, whatever it may be, right? Whatever it is, and then say, here, you have to sign this, or you sign this. And because of some of his ways and who he is and how he is, it's what he's for it, and he puts his name on it, and he's getting all the lash for it. You get what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like that is the government. I think, and he's the face of it. But he agrees with it. You know what I mean? I don't know what this is. People are asking the co-hosts on here. I don't know. It's still illegal. So Brittany says it's still illegal in state law, but this sets a precedent, and some states may decide to follow also. Okay. So what precedent do you think this states? She says, the level say he's making the decisions and they're scared to go against him. I don't think he's 100% wholeheartedly making all of these decisions though. Because, and I'm only saying that because you have presidents who've been there before that had things they wanted to do. Hence, the Democrats, who wanted to implement certain things. And because the majority of the House, the House were Republican, they denied it, but now most of the House is damn near Republican. It gets denied. And I feel like that was one of the things that I clearly heard him say during their debate when he told her, he said, she can try to do all of these things that she wants to do. She could try to get these things passed, but it'll never happen. Y'all remember when he said that? He said it with confidence. I don't feel like he also said it with confidence because he knew he was going to win the election, but I feel like he said it with confidence because he knew that who was in the House. You know what I mean? I feel like that. She says, do you sign anything without reading it? Well, I have. I've paid for it later. But I definitely, do I think he's reading every single thing? I don't think he's reading every single thing. I definitely don't think he's reading every single thing. Although he should, he definitely should Hey, Andre, how are you? He definitely should be reading everything, but I still feel like he is just in agreement with what they're doing. But I still feel like he's just the face. Like these things, there's a there's a flow, there's an order in how things have to go. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Because when you think about it, when we talk about the election and when everybody go on, what do they say? Oh, everybody, what did we hear? Oh, y'all all worrying about the election. You can't worry about the election. You got to worry about, Congress and the Senate, and those are the seats that you should be voting for, and that's what you should be doing. Da, 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 da. So it's like, so can we say that on one hand, and then on the other hand, saying that, oh, Trump is the one that is doing and creating all of this stuff. Now, this is just for conversational purposes. You know what I'm saying? And also, there are a lot of people who say and don't believe that he is racist of any kind. Do you think that this now deems that he is? Has he shown you that he is? If you don't agree with the fact that he is, I'm just here to shed light on what someone brought to me. What you think? What you think, TikTok? Did you say anything else over here? Oh no, do you think it will be able to fly? I don't think that. Well, can't put anything past anybody, but I don't think that segregation would be able to fly in today's world. I don't know. I don't think segregation would be able to fly in today's world. Do you think? What do you guys think? Do you think we'll be able to fly? Let's see this. Let's check the population. Let's see. Let's check population. No, this is not what I wanted. Let's see. What y'all think? What you think? What's your thoughts, YouTube? What's your thoughts? Are y'all thinking or y'all don't know? Or is it an iffy subject? Let's see. Okay, boom, here we go. Thank you. Them trying to overturn all these different things African American is definitely speaking loudly. Definitely. I definitely agree with that. It's like, hold on. It's like, wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. They are definitely up to something. There is definitely something going on. It's definitely something going on. And I wonder, if anybody's out there that are in interracial relationships or have biracial children, or, how are you feeling? Because this is why I say that, because you have a lot of those celebrities, right? It seems like everybody, it seems like the Kardashians love them a black man. You know what I mean? So it just seems to me how things are today. I don't really know if that would really be able to completely fly. A lot of them have black babies, have black husbands. Even some of us have white wives, white husbands. It's let me see. It's more potent today versus back then when it was like, oh, you really had to sneak, and now it's like, boom, mixed races everywhere. You go. So that's why I don't really know. I don't really think that it would be able to 100% fly today. I truly don't. I feel like it could be what she said. She said, I feel like it could be possible. I mean, sundown towns still exist. Yeah, sundown towns still definitely do exist. Definitely. You definitely have a point there, but they are sundown. Okay. Sundown town. We're talking about all day, every day with how everything is today. Because don't get me wrong, anything is possible. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's going to be one hell of a fight. Let's try this one while I look up some data. Let's see. Why? You know what? I don't know if it's me or if it's Google. Because every time I'm typing this in, Google don't want to let me be great today. This, I want to know, in the USA, I want to get the population. I know I got some bookworms out there. Thank you. I know I got some bookworms out there. Does anybody know what the population ratio is from white to black in the United States of America? Does anybody know that? Does anybody know that? Can anybody find that? Can anybody find that? It may though, because this is the government contracting business. Yeah. So that's why, that's what I'm saying. It can be a little scary. And I definitely feel like that this stuff doesn't do anything but ignite fear. Fear in people, make you second guess everything. Hey, Sanera girl, shout outs to you over there on YouTube. Make you second guess anything. But I want one of my bookworms to show up. Can someone find the population? Like, what's the ratio? What is the percentage of, whites of the population and black population? Just for data conversational purposes. Because guess what? When I'm putting it in Google, I don't know if what's going on, but it's kicking me out. And I've noticed that when I've been searching certain stuff here lately, it's been kicking me out. Like it's not even searching the stuff. Are they in my computer? The majority of generational wealth is passed down in white families because they keep implementing all these crazy laws and rules. Yes. I definitely agree with that. And here's the thing too, though. On that video that I was saying that I was trying to show you guys not long ago, that I said that you could have checked out on Defense 360 Maryland, right? Where where they always say, even other races and stuff like that, that we don't stick together. I don't even think that if it was segregated, I don't think we would be able to stick together. And hear me out. And I say that because, and I know somebody gonna be off with my head, but y'all tell me what y'all think. I say that because look at this, might not be the right example, but it's the best one that I feel like is clear and potent. Look at the election. Right? I know that it was majority because she's a woman. Okay. I know that most of it was because she was a woman. Okay, look, see, I knew it was going right. So white, 75.3%. Okay, and then give me the percent for black. Thank you so much. See, Sanera, shout outs. I knew I needed the teacher to show up. Shout outs to YouTube for the data. For providing us the data this evening. Look at the election, right? And when I say that, I'm not talking about, oh, you believe in what she's going to say, who you think is going to best help you. Because at the end of the day, let's call a thing a thing. We knew he was not for us. You knew. I don't care what you thought, how you thought it. You knew this man was not for us. Period. Okay? Okay. And Sanera said, so black the population 13.7%. Okay. So we have 13.7%. Okay. can we also break it down by I don't want to say biracial or interracial couples or something like that. Can we break it down that way? Can we get the percentages somehow that way? Because somewhere, right, I saw online, or Tremanda might can chime in that one because this is usually her lane too, where they were saying that they are starting to become like the minority or something. Maybe she could put that down there or something, you know. That was a behind the scenes thing. She could probably put that in there. Hey Wayne, how are you this evening? Yep, and the house is mainly white and mostly men too. Okay, right. Okay. Two or more races are 3.1%. Okay. Okay. So if they decided to do the whole segregation thing, is what we're saying is like, well, now we got to see what percentage of them are poor. Okay, look, thank you, Sonera girl. You know what? Shout out to you. I got to give you something because you was on a ball. What percentage of them is poor? Because I don't want to see. You know what I mean? Like I'm just curious. Hi, Kia. How are you? So because here we are, right? And what I'm saying is that the election showed that to a degree because, like I said, take out the fact that she was a woman, but you know we got to see and a lot in the group. So like I said, TikTok, come on over to Facebook, join the group, and all that other stuff. I just watched how many people down talked this lady, right? Whether you want to say she was black, she was white, she was Chinese, she was Asian, Blasian, Cajun, persuasion, whatever you want to say. If the segregation go in effect, she'll be right over there with us. That was my point. Okay. But outside of that, you know, so many people. Oh, I knew she was gonna show up with the answer. Here she go. Boom. Read that until I finish what I'm saying. So many people, and a lot of us actually were like going at her neck, you know, saying why she shouldn't be president. She's worrying about hot sauce, and she's trying to cater to the blacks, and she's trying to cater to the this. And I mean, it was just so much down talk about this lady. So that's why it's kind of like, yeah, they know we're not gonna stick together. They know we're not gonna stick together. You know, it kind of sucks. But I seen on TikTok, my friend was telling me earlier that there were like mixed reviews talking about it, where some people were saying, hey, yeah, they can do it, they can do away with it because we don't need them. We do a lot of stuff. And don't get me wrong, we are very, very talented. You know, we create a lot of stuff. They, like I said, they want to look like us. They getting their butts done, body, lips done. What else they getting done? Probably hips done, nose done, everything. You know what I mean? So I said this a couple weeks ago. You know, everybody wants to be us, but nobody really wants to be us. You know what I mean? What we did, godchild, we did the peanut butter, we did a hot comb, we did all that, the perms, and you know, we created a lot of things. You know, there were towns with us that they burnt to the ground. You know, even here in Baltimore, you know, we had a whole Black Wall Street. So I definitely know that we are great and we are dope and we are talented. I just can't wait to the day that we wake up and we realize it. You know, we can't keep blaming, oh, they brought crack and drugs into the ghettos. Okay, well, you can choose not to sell it. Matter of fact, do you want better? I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying you could choose to just only sell your drugs to white people if that was the case. But then that would make you a racist drug dealer, wouldn't it? I don't know, but I'm just simply saying, you know what I mean? I just think that once we become and realize that we are better, we would do better. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I still sometimes be like, there's no way that lady sat there, regardless of how they felt about her, that lady sat there and told y'all everything that was going to happen. So like when the Love Below said, yeah, he's signing stuff without reading it or whatever it is he's doing. Yeah, but this lady sat here and told y'all everything he was going to do before he was going to do it. And he told you what he was going to do. So that's why I always say shout outs to Trump for being the first man ever to do what he said he was going to do. So, let him be the hope for you to know that a man will keep their word. Okay. And he's doing it. So it should really be no surprise. That's why I said, I feel like hatred won the election. The fact that people didn't want a woman in power. And whatever the other things are, it just was nothing to say, hey, put this man in office. But he's there. Man, when I was talking to one of my coworkers today, I was like, hey, he looked at me. I was like, listen, we only got 3.5 more years. You know what I mean? He like, right. So, he'll screw it up. Somebody else will come back and fix it. And it'd be like a ping pong thing and stuff like that. It's just unfortunate because we, the citizens, the people who are not the rich and the famous, will get caught in the crossfire. That's it. But that's why you got to stay prayed up. You got to do things together. Get your finances in order for real. Work on you. Don't spend what you don't need to spend and figure it out, because she love you. They are becoming the minority. That's another reason why they keep implementing all this craziness too. They are the destruction. Okay. Poverty rate 11.1%. So 11.1% out of them are in poverty. What's the Black poverty rate? Flatter me. And then what they say? Flatter me. What's the Black poverty? They want everything without the struggle. Yes. Okay. Because I still be, no shade, but I still be trying to see what do everybody see in them daggone Kardashians. I think Kylie is pretty. I think Kylie is very pretty. But I be like, all them guys want a Kardashian. I mean, they put them Kardashian women on like this pedestal. Kanye, they went over there. Tristan, they went over there. Travis, Tiger, they went over there. Who else they went over there? Like, these guys love them some Kardashians. And I be like, what is so special about these girls? They love how rhythm but out blues. Yes, okay. Yes. So, that was brought to me tonight. Wanted me to discuss that. Is there any other comments? Anything else? Oh yeah, we're waiting for Stanera to come through with the poverty rate. Shout outs to YouTube over there. Y'all been doing the thing. And then I want to get over into what was going on today and yesterday with that Breakfast Club, okay? And what else? What else with that? So you know who you are, who asked me to talk about that. I hope that you got your, what you were looking for. But yeah, so I think it's all sad. I think it's all sad, and just pray, you just gotta stay prayed up. Like the Bible says, do not be blinded and distracted by the world. Do not conform to the world, okay? Do not be distracted by what you see. And sometimes, I know personally that can be very difficult to do. Hey, TikTok, you guys, if you guys want to help with the goal, you sure can. Shout outs to y'all. Make sure you're tapping the screen. A shout out to the lady who joined the team tonight. Because you can get distracted sometimes. I know me personally, I'm always having to give myself pep talks. You gotta give yourself a pep talk. That's why I had to come on here the first 30 minutes of the show and just pour into the mothers out here. Because sometimes, sometimes you question, am I doing a good job or What am I doing? That's why when they be saying, oh, a woman can't raise a man and all this, and guess what? I don't know what they say or statistics say, but I know some mothers that raised some good men that became husbands. Some became whores. You know, some graduated college. Some are CEOs. Okay, you know, we got to keep it real. And you know, it's a variety. It's a variety out here. You know what I mean? So I will forever always speak and be an advocate, okay, for the woman being a parent. Because it is a struggle. You got to be the warden. You got to be the gatekeeper, the principal, the lawyer, the doctor, and the soft place. Now, how am I do all that and still raise you and pay these bills? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't get to say, be the nurturer. You know, especially if you're doing it by yourself, you can't be the nurturer. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you might think your parents was just mean, but then you grow up and learn, oh, she wasn't mean. That man was plucking the nerves. You know what I mean? That man gave us some children and he ain't want to raise them, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, bear with your parents. You know what I mean? Forgive. You know, Sonara, do we have the poverty rate for the Black people? Also, before we move to our next topic, you guys, make sure you're tapping the screen. Give me the hearts, thumbs up. Share the show on Facebook. Share it in the group. If you are not following subscribe to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help me get to my goal. Come on over to TikTok. I have a TikTok goal. I got all these goals, okay, at this point. I got all these goals. If goal was a person, it would be me, okay? And I'm just saying. She said, say that again. Yes, girl, for real. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Let's take this quick little while we get into, because we're about to mosey right on over to the next topic. Are you guys aware of what's going on? We're going to get into the Breakfast Club. So let's get into that.
Are you ready to become a responsible firearms owner? Train with Defense 360 Maryland. Learn the fundamentals of shooting, situational awareness, and the Maryland laws surrounding conceal and carry, all while having fun. Enjoy every step of the way as you gain the skills to carry safely and confidently. Don't wait. Call today. Register with Defense 360 Maryland, located at 200 East Joppa Road in Towson, Maryland. Take the first step towards responsible firearms ownership.
Okay, so we're now going to get into the Breakfast Club. And before we get into that, you guys, go ahead, get trained with the best. Go ahead, Defense 360 Maryland. Let them know that you come from Miss Vibrations and see what they got for you. Because listen, you guys, this is, excuse me, I burped, hold on. This is important. I want you guys to go get your license to carry, your concealed to carry. Do all that while you can. As you see, the laws and things are getting revoked, provoked, and changed every day. So before your right to bear arms is taken, because if you go and you look at the amendment, it wasn't put in place for us anyway. So before that is taken away, I recommend you going over to Defense 360, go train with the best, with Eric Gilliam, and get your license. Get your handgun license. Get your conceal and carry. You never know when somebody's going to wake up and want to go chitty, bang, bang in the supermarket. You know, make sure you protect it at all times. You never know when somebody want to go rat-a-tat-tat on your window like a thief in the night. So just train with the best and go ahead on over to Defense 360 and let them know that your girl Candy sent you. Now moving on. All right, so I've been seeing so much stuff with this Jess, hilarious, and Loren Lorosa. That made me feel a little like Spanish. Lorosa. I wonder what is she? Now that I'm saying her name like that, what is she? What do y'all think she is? What is she? Let's see. What is she? Loren Lorosa. Oh, Lorosa. She's a pop culture vlogger. What's her nationality? Are you guys familiar with that? You guys know what's going on with that? Say yes, no in the chat. Let me know what's going on. People are calling while I'm doing my show. Are you guys familiar with that? So this has been, you said, nope, you're not familiar with it. Okay, guess what? We're gonna right on up to speed. So Jess Hilarious and Loren Lorosa, okay, they are both at the hey, boom, boom, I was just talking about you. Whenever in doubt, roll back the beautiful bean fudge to the first 27 minutes. So let's see her bio. I want to know what she is because now her daggone name is Rosa. What is she? What is she? So she is the young lady who is on the Breakfast Club along with Jess Hilarious. So Jess Hilarious has been all over the blogs, has been all over the internet because there was this blowout. Okay, now this is how the internet makes it sound. Like there was this huge blowout, and you know they're gonna make everything sound bigger than what it was. Yo, why don't I have no information on this girl? Could somebody find her and tell me what she is? No, here we go, nationality. Because look, you know how you get your mindset on something? It's going to kill me if I don't get it. So they have been going back and forth. So Jess Hilarious, for you who know and for those who don't know, she is the host on The Breakfast Club. She is one of the hosts on The Breakfast Club. There was an announcement over a year ago where they were trying to fill in the Angela Yee seat. She took Angela Yee's spot. Now, before Angela Yee left for like the 10th time, y'all know it's always some controversy around that. You know, with her saying that there was like drama up there, how she was feeling about how they treated her up there and all that other stuff. Loren Lorosa is, well, she's from she was born and raised in Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware. What is her nationality? This thing got everything but her daggone nationality. I told you I don't think the internet like her on my computer. My computer ain't been like nobody. And so anyway, she filled in for Jess. Jess went on maternity leave, so Jess chose her. During the time when they were trying to figure out who was going to be on the show, she was one of the hosts, along with Jason Lee. I think Portia might have been up there. Claudia was up there. They had several people come up there. They had Gary Owens up there. Several people came up there during this time. They finally ended up picking Jess Hilarious, gave her the contract. She finally got up there. Now, if you follow Jess Hilarious' career, I don't follow her career, but I do follow the Breakfast Club. And I remember when she first got her interview on the Breakfast Club, she was saying how she grew up on the Breakfast Club, like a lot of us. She loved the Breakfast Club. She kept saying she was going to be on there one day. She was going to be interviewed on there one day. She was going to be interviewed on there one day. Boom, lo and behold, now she's a host on there. So shout outs to her because guess what? Dreams do come true, and she's proving that. So here we are. So she asked, well, it just says that she's American. It just says that she's African American. We're gonna figure it out there. Okay. So I'm off of that now. So she went up there, she filled in for Jess. So that is someone who Jess, handpicked and said, hey, while I'm out on maternity leave, she can fill in for me when I'm gone. Not gonna lie. Okay. Some of y'all watching can't put your own blast. Some of the people watching tonight don't like Jess being on the Breakfast Club. Felt like Jess didn't need to be there, Some felt like she wasn't reading the material right. Some felt like she was a little too ghetto, or she wasn't flowing with the conversation or anything like that. That's how some of y'all that's watching tonight felt, right? Not just y'all, but some people on the internet. Like I said, I've always just watched clips and stuff. I only watch the Breakfast Club when somebody I know or I'm interested in is on there. I don't really keep up with the Breakfast Club. Like when my homegirl Candy Lady, y'all remember the Candy Lady? She was the person who I started Candy Code of Secrets with. She was on there. When she was on there, when she called in and she was on there, I listened to it, all of that stuff. So shout outs to my friend. So Jess Hilarious has gone out on maternity leave. She did all of that. She picked her to take her place. Loren, she's great at what she does. She reads good. She delivers the news good. She's great. Now, when I started seeing the clips of her on Instagram, I liked it. I was like, oh, okay. I started seeing her more and more show up on my page. I don't know if they started to push that more or not, but when Jess was on there, when Jess is on there, I don't see it that much on my feed. So I don't know what's going on, but and they never hardly pop up on my feed. But once they started, once Loren started hosting and doing all of that stuff, it started coming up on my feed more. I thought it was great. I think she does well with Charlamagne. She definitely gets the news out, and it's like, oh, she's good. You definitely can see she's talented. You definitely can see her skills, and she has, like, that's what she did. She did it for like TMZ and all that. So you can tell, you can see her skills. Just like anything else, you do something long enough, you become talented at it, and you do it flawlessly. So, and I'm going to also do like a separate thing on YouTube for this too. But outside of that, so Jess, here we are, Corey Holcomb goes on this rant saying that Jess doesn't fit, blah, blah, blah. He goes off, him and Jess had beef for years because Jess took pictures back in like 2016, 2017 with her son. He had something to say. He apologized to Jess in person or something. Jess dissed him, did not accept his apology, and he still feels away. Typical men, some men hold on to grudges and be bitter. So he said something and it triggered her. And a lot of people, and they're like, what? Some people are like, before I get to that. And it triggered her. So she went live. Did y'all see that? Let me know if y'all seen it. If y'all seen it, I know 2 people said they didn't see it. Are y'all keeping up? Let me know if you're keeping up. Tap the screen, share, like, all of that. And so, she goes on and she said how she felt. And I'm not going to lie. Sometimes we can see things and, people will paint a picture before it comes out. But I remember when I see it, I was like, okay, saying to myself, if Jess is back, why is this girl still on here? This is me, myself saying it. I was confused when I began to see more clips and I saw the 2 of them on the show. So I'm like, if Jess is back, why is she on there? That's what I said to myself, but I don't be on there. And before Jess came back, because the girl was doing it and Loren was so flawless with how she was doing it, I said to myself, I remember saying to myself, and I said it to Handy Mandy, I said, I think that girl, they about to try to get that girl, take that girl's spot. I think they're going to put her in on this show. Because I said, she's really good. She's really good. And then that was that. So then Jess goes and she went live on Instagram yesterday or the day before, yesterday. And I don't even want to say she went off, because I hate when people misinterpret somebody saying how they feel. She went live and she said how she felt. She said that overall, she doesn't feel away. She's not intimidated. She doesn't feel insecure about Loren being there. Loren is only there because she picked Loren to be there, which came out that was true. She picked Loren to be there. So she's like, how can I be insecure, basically intimidated and feel away about somebody who I chose to be there? Then you had the people who were like, well, you handpicked somebody to take your spot and blah, 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 and all of this, right? So she's like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what my contract said when I got the job. The job is supposed to be in us 3. Nowhere did they tell me that it was going to be 4. So her thing was, if you started to pay attention to the show, if you are a follower of the Breakfast Club, before the news report, when Loren would be reporting the news segment of the show, it would be the intros of join into the Breakfast Club. Oh, you're now rocking with DJ Envy. Oh, Charlamagne the Gold, don't go today. And it would be like, and Jess with the mess. And then it would go to Loren. And so Jess had begun on air saying, before Loren could speak, this is not Jess with the mess. This is Loren Lorosa with the news. This is not Jess with the mess. I totally get it. Like, Jess with the mess is Jess. We all know is Jessica Moore's thing. Jess with the mess is Jess thing. So you being Loren with the Loren Lorosa with the news, that's not Jess with the mess. So I definitely get it with the whole, your name. We not about to do that, girl. Do your thing. Do your Loren thing. The Jess with the mess thing is my thing. That's my brand. That's your brand. So she had begun to do that. She also had started to become, not engaging, not paying any attention when she's online and stuff like that. When they're talking about different things, she checked out like most people do. So then here we are. She, like I said, she went online. She said, hey, they address everything else any other day, but they don't never come online. They never go on air and address the mess that they see online that involves me, where they're trying to say, I feel a way about this girl. They acting like they don't see what's going on. I'm asking them what's going on with this girl. What is going on? So Jess began to book shows. She started booking shows, going back doing her comedy thing and all of this other stuff. All right. Got it? So there's that. So then you have people who are like, that I've seen where they're like, oh, we too grown for her to be needing somebody to defend her. She shouldn't want them to speak up for her. Then it was like, oh, they should have took it to work. So today she went to work because she said, I already know what it is, blah, blah, blah. She went to work today. So they talked about the whole problem on air. I thought it was great. I don't know about y'all. I thought it was great. Tomato, depends on who you ask. I thought that it was great that they were able to talk about the problem on air, hash out the problem on air, and say how they felt. Some people were saying, oh, it was unprofessional. Oh, girl, just hush up. You shouldn't have let her come there. She's going to take your spot. And you this and you that and blah, 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 blah. And you fell for the trick and you fell for the clickbait. So she was on there. She started crying. I believe, it was out of frustration and the anger because it was something that she said. And, from like Baltimore people, we know this, right? For a moment, for me, Loren tried to crack Slick. So apparently one of the shows, she told Loren to shut up or something like that. And she was explaining that too. She was like, because you're always taking up the mic. You keep cutting me off. I can never get a word in. So she had told the girl to shut up one time. And then she was like, but I did say, okay, I shouldn't have said that or whatever the case may be or whatever. She was like, I apologize, whatever. But hush, that's the only way you listen is if somebody tell you shut up. So today, I guess because Loren felt the way because it went viral. It all over everything. She was like, yeah, Jess, because, to address the shut up thing, you did tell me shut up. And she was like, and I'm a grown ass woman. Don't nobody do that. And Jess was like, yeah, I did tell you that, whatever. She was like, but I'm a grown ass woman. And Jess was like, but you should have said that when I said it. You said nothing. So don't come here now, basically and try to make it a thing because it's this big thing. And you could tell that that's what she was trying to kind of do. But at the same time, I feel like they weren't actively listening to what Jess was saying. They were listening to respond to what she was saying. And she said that when she said that she didn't really care for Loren at first once she came back from maternity leave, because as soon as she got back, she was straight being messy and started asking her about all the negative stuff that was in the comments on air. And she said, yo, this is my first day back to work. I had a baby. This is not how we planned on me coming back to work. We had did a whole layout of me coming back to work. And when I get here, you're the only one that keep asking me about the messy stuff in the comments, right? This is what she's saying. So she's like, I'm feeling the way. She said, and then on top of that, I keep coming to work and you keep sitting here. They keep telling me that you are a producer. Now, as we all know, the producer just comes up with the setup of the show, write everything out because she was in charge of the segment. She tell them what they're going to talk about, go over all the stuff, get all the facts, and give it to them, and they go over it. You hardly ever see the producer, except if you're watching Candy Coated Secrets. Over here, I am the producer, the writer, the director, and the talent. Okay? And so she was saying, yo, if you are the producer, you need to produce. you keep being here. This is what I'm doing. This is what we're doing. So she said, I had to realize my problem is not with you. My problem is with them and everyone else in the building, because why are you here? And then every time I go to talk, you cutting me off. I can't do my job. And then the other thing too, which I learned by listening, she's not going to flow. The conversation is not going to flow with Jess, because she is the Jess with the Mess segment. So if you follow the Jess with the Mess segment and how she does Jess with the Mess on Instagram, that's exactly how she is supposed to do it on air. You understand? And it might be a little, and I do know that some things can be hard, or some people may not understand some things if you're not in that genre. If you're not familiar, if you don't know how it go, you might not understand it. But once she explained it, like Jess with the Mess, I'm just here to do Jess with the Mess. Jess with the Mess is, she breaks it up how she does it. She's not supposed to be like, oh, and then today Kendrick Lamar said that he didn't like Drake, and Drake said to him, we bebop, boop, bloop, bamboo. You know, she's supposed to be like how she does it. You know, Just with the Mess. Oh, you know, Drake is on Instagram crying again today. Oh, shit, really? Oh, I wonder what's in his mind. You know, however she does that. Acting like she should. Who's acting like she should? Who's acting like she should? So I take it you maybe not be a fan or whatever. What you think? What's your thoughts on it? You know, so I was like, okay. So I listened. And so her frustration was, yo, if she's supposed to be a fourth host, we have meetings all the time. Come on, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm doing my show and people are calling me, and then I'm about to get annoyed. Hold on. You know, outside of that, she's like, hey, you know, this is not what we discussed. So I definitely understand that. If this is not something, if we discussed and we planned one thing and we have it all written out and we know how it's going to go, and you guys don't do it and you aren't following it, I totally get it. I completely understand, right? So I understood. I wholeheartedly, you know, understood Jess's gripe. Maybe because we share the same birthday. Maybe because we're both Aquarius, you know. I don't know. But I understood exactly what she was saying. You know, how people she was feeling away. Like she said, I picked her. You know, how can I feel? Basically, like, how can I feel away about somebody that I hired? You know what I mean? I picked her because she was good. But y'all are looking weird. Y'all address everything else when we see it online. But now when it comes to me in this situation, I'm asking questions and I'm feeling the way, y'all are telling me to ignore the comments. Don't fall for it. So it's like you playing in my face. So she said, Loren, the producer, trying to take over everything. Oh, you're saying Loren was trying to act like she did. Oh, yeah, because then Loren, she did say, she's like, you know, you're my talent. So whatever the case may be. And so at the same time, it's just like, yo, she has a valid feeling. If you are the producer, like I said, the producer is not here. When there's been times that I've had producers, you know, people help me. You've never seen them. I might have made them talk sometimes. I definitely made them talk sometimes, but you've never seen them. So yeah, I got a problem with you. You know, mic check 1 2 1 2, because this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Now, could they be trying to wean Jess out? Maybe, but what I didn't like was the comments. Like, people were in the comments on like the shade room and stuff. They were talking like Jess is not Jess. You know what I mean? Like, she like she needs the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things to me where it's like people cheer for you, like everybody want to see you win on your way up until you get there. You know what I'm saying? Um, because the comments, they were like, oh, you let somebody trick you out your spot. Now you're not about to have a job. And girls sit down, this, that. And it's like, y'all are acting like this girl is, like, y'all watched this girl come up through social media. Like, y'all watched her sit at her desk at work doing little skits. Y'all watched her go to school, picking up her kid, doing all that. Y'all watched her show y'all her life. Y'all watched her. She was even on 92Q at one point doing Jess with the Mess, and that didn't work out. Like, y'all watched her be on television, and then, you know, whatever happened with that show. So it's like, and then y'all see her do her skits with her kid's father, and then, you know, all this stuff. So it's like, I just didn't like how people are now trying to make it seem like this girl needs the Breakfast Club. You know, the Breakfast Club definitely will look good on her resume. It definitely adds more to her to show what she's done. But I'm gonna need people to stop acting like, you know, when one door closed, a goddamn window don't become open, or another door won't open. If it is her time to be done with the Breakfast Club, best believe it's her time to be done with the Breakfast Club. You know, we have to stop thinking that when things don't go the way we want them to go, or things aren't, you know, I always say, you tell God how you want your life to go, and he gonna laugh. You know what I'm saying? We can plan out how we want things to go, and sometimes different things happen. Whether the relationship come to an end, whether the friendship come to the end, whether you may have the children, you may have a miscarriage. You know, maybe you have to get, you know, artificially inseminated. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe you might have to get a new car. You get what I'm saying? Maybe you might lose the house to get a better house. You know, we have to just stop looking at everything like, oh my God, it's a devastation. Like, Jess was who she was before she came on the Breakfast Club. And she since then she keeps going up. Yeah, she's had her hiccups. She's owned all her hiccups. So the thing is too, what I've learned throughout, you know, social media, and just watching how, you know, because I like to live and learn. You know, they say a wise person can observe, pay attention, and you don't have to always make the same mistakes, but you will make them. You know, you have to be mindful of what you say and what you think, right? And she's made her mistakes, but one of the things is when you choose to be, whether it's an influencer, but I don't even really think influencers do this though. So let me just say, those who fall in the category of living their life out loud on social media, like the Krishan, the way people crucify Krishan, Jaden, like the Natalie Nuns, the comedies like Jess and all that. So when you choose to live your life out loud and let people see you go through your growing, when you go through your growing publicly, you are opened up for scrutiny. But the thing that gets me the most is you are opened up to scrutiny from people who wouldn't say none of this to your face, right? You are also opened up from scrutiny from people who, where if they saw you, they asked for an autograph and a picture. You are opened up from scrutiny from some people who sit behind fake pages and ain't got nothing going on. You are opened up to scrutiny from people who couldn't dare walk a mile in your shoes. You are opened up to people who, if had the opportunity, they would fumble it. You get what I'm saying? And you choose to live out loud, which I believe is a phenomenal thing, because to me, it's the biggest indication of I don't care what nobody got to say. You know, like F y'all. You know what I mean? I don't care what you guys say, what you think. To live in a world where everybody wants to fit in and to be able to show up and authentically be yourself, I'm starting to learn is a gift. It's a true gift from people telling you what you should wear, what you should buy, assuming because you don't have a label that you can't afford it. Assuming because you don't want to deal with anything in a relationship, you're not willing to put up with anything from a man just to have one, that if you're single, it's something wrong with you. That if you record people fighting and cussing and being violent, that it's something good. But if you record you giving money to the homeless, you bragging and should have shut up about it. Like this is the world we live in of how people see things. So I feel, unless you may have personally experienced something similar to what she's talking about, you would never be able to understand what she was saying. I didn't, and it also depends too on which lens you see her through. Like, which lens are you looking at someone through? Because sometimes you can only see past your own. You can't see any further than your own perception. You can't see any further than that. So it's like with that, some people said it shouldn't have been done on the air. I think it was perfect. Conversations aren't always nice. They didn't curse. They didn't cuss each other out. They didn't get disrespectful, and they didn't fight. They said how they felt, which is how it should go in the real world. And you go from there and you let it be done. That's how you should do it. People, we have to stop being afraid of not wanting to have the uncomfortable conversations. You have to have the uncomfortable conversations in order for you to grow. In order for you to grow. In order for you to grow here, you have to have those conversations. You can't just keeping everything into yourself. And she's human. She had the right to say how she feel. We have to stop trying to tell people what they should feel, how they can feel it, when they should feel it, and how they could have handled it. Because you don't know. You don't know what it's like all day to sit and people just have say something about you. Like they say, when they say be Beyonce to the comments. Okay, you can be Beyonce to the comments. Beyonce probably don't say nothing. But you ain't gonna convince me Beyonce ain't got no fake account where she going off on people in the comments. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? We just living where, you have to stop believing everything that you see online. For example, too, tonight's conversation, I saw that. I know it's like that's been like dismantled, where you have the people who decided to speak up. And that's another thing. When people finally decide to speak up and say what happened or how they were treated, people want to say they were lying. We instantly want to tell somebody they was lying. You don't know nothing, but you want to tell somebody they was lying. You want to tell them that they was lying. Now you're learning that the guy that everybody was like, oh, you thought y'all learned with Derek Jackson. Oh, they were this. I never listened to tonight's conversation. I'm just not really big on, stuff like that. The Lord has given me a pretty good spirit of discernment. Hi, how are you, Jasmine? Thank you. So it's like I kind of can see through bullcrap, and I knew that whole podcast something wasn't right. Hey, how are you? And so now that it has came out that he's cheating on his wife, he was beating on his girlfriend, he was keeping the money from the girls, he wasn't trying to pay them their money. He had them spend money on equipment, saying he was going to put them on their things. And now they're talking about how he used their platform to gain his audience, to help build his platform to what it is today. Now everybody is trying to say, oh, they're lying. Oh, they're bitter. Da, 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 da. Like, y'all don't know what them people went through. Y'all do not know what them people went through. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. When you choose to speak out about your experience, my God, This is why I always say you have to be careful with how you treat people. And someone fell out with me behind this before because I said how I felt, right? Years ago when it happened. Somehow it like resurfaced. We had the discussion again, and she thought I was going to change what I said. I don't operate like that. You know what I mean? She said, Mojo, Jojo, Jojo. Yes. She cracks me up when she kept saying that. You know, I am who I am because I am who I am. I am who I say I am, online and offline. Okay. I've been a lot of things, but I ain't never been a liar. Okay. And so she thought that I was going to change how I felt when we had this conversation. I was like, well, this was like some years ago. I was like, well, when it first happened, I said, oh yeah, I believe you did it. I feel like you did it because I don't know this young lady. The day that it happened, you were getting your hair done. I saw you in her chair. I don't know her. She texted my phone, and what she was speaking about happened 2 months prior. I actually was looking forward to it 2 months prior when it happened. Also, when I made the appointment, she didn't even know who I was from the appointment. So all of a sudden, you go and you sit in her chair, and she knows me and my phone number 2 months later. So, that's just like a little hints of that. So I said to her, yeah, I feel like you're a liar. And you are a troublemaker because there was no need for that, right? And we talked about it. That was it. She's, oh no, I didn't. Okay, fine. Move on. Continued cool. Still communicated with her. I'm not on the phone. I had to work with you. You understand? So fast forward a year or two later, it comes back up again. I'm not the one who brought it up. Don't know why I came back up. Don't care. And she brought it up. I'm like, what's wrong? Oh, because you have people thinking that I'm a jacked up person. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And she was like, and I said, oh, I said, oh, well, I do feel like you started that. I do believe like you did that. And I told you why. I still feel that way. And I said to her what I'm about to say now. And I said what I was saying to you guys prior. I always say. And I said to her then, I am not responsible for how you chose to show up in my experience. And I want y'all to take that little jewel and I want y'all to put that in your back pocket, okay? Put that in your back pocket. I'm telling y'all, it works like a charm. I'm telling you, people will shut up so quick. Listen. I tell people that all the time. I had guilty conscience. Girl, real guilty, okay? I said, I'm good. How are you doing? I had to switch accounts. I had to show you how I look. This is the beard show. Oh, you're the guy from TikTok. Oh, hi. Okay, no. Cool. You're the chef that's supposed to be cooking me some food. So I tell people all the time, I am not responsible for how you chose to show up in my experience. And my experience is life. We are all a part of somebody's experience. If you choose to show up and be a liar, a thief, a cheat, deceitful, axe murderer, however it is you choose to show up in my experience, I cannot control that. But I can control how long I keep you in my experience. You understand? Because I don't have a victim mindset. I'm not a victim. So she got mad because I repeated the same thing I had said to her the year prior again. Oh, I thought we were friends. I thought we were past that. I didn't think that you would still feel that way. This is me. I am who I say I am. You know what I mean? This is it. You know, I can't control how you choose to show up in my life. So this is why I am very big on how I treat people, you know, because at once upon a time before today, I didn't care how I treated people once upon a time. It was like, whatever, you ain't gonna bang me in my mouth, you know, and if you do, I can fight, so whatever. But that changed, you know, so it's like, all right, guess what? So now what? What we gonna do? You know, I've learned, you know, you have to say how you feel. You know, nobody can tell you that your feelings are wrong. They can disagree. Now, they can't even disagree with your feelings. They can just clear up the situation, but can't nobody tell you your feelings are wrong. You know what I'm saying? And just because your feelings are hurt or you're angered about something, don't mean you're right either. So you have to also be willing to listen to somebody else explain what's going on. So that's why I said, for me, I definitely heard and could understand where she was coming from. If something is supposed to be one way and you get there and it's a completely different way. You don't know how many times people are like, oh, I'm not insecure. Like, women don't intimidate me. Do you know how many times I've had people who've had their own platforms or who were personalities that came up here plenty of times in the very beginning when I started and things like that. And do you know how many people will always ask me, oh my God, why did you bring them on there? You don't think they're going to take your audience? You don't, or y'all doing the same thing. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, they either going to be here or they're not. And I think people don't understand, when you are confident with yourself and confident with what you do, you don't flinch. Like I said, they can go. They could be fans of both. Or if those who are supposed to be for me will be here with me. And those who are, I can't, you know, I look at that all the time. Lose one, gain 20. I can't be caught up on that. I'm not insecure. I can't say I don't want to share why would I not want to share my platform? Like, what? Who does? Like, that's not even a thing that I think about. And when they had brought that to me, I was like, I'm not thinking about that. I don't care about that. So I've always been like that. You know, so I don't know. Like I said, I've learned that it's a gift. I've always been very secure with who I am. I've never tried to fit in. I didn't fit in. I was never a real clicky person. I mean, I lose friends. Well, no, I never lost a friend. I've said that. Anybody supposed to be my friend is still my friend. You know, I've also experienced people that rock with me. They interact, they support everything, they share my stuff, they come to stuff as long as we cool. But if we're not cool, deemed cool in their eyes, all of that support goes out of the window. So it's like, is your support genuine? Was it calculated? Your support came with a contingency clause? Oh, okay. So you get what I'm saying? So that's how it is. Like, I can tell you all some stories, but I don't want to. At the same time, I didn't make my platform to come on here and blast people. I don't gotta do that. I do not have to do that. God see everything. So that's why I say I cannot control how you choose to be in my experience. I can only control me. And I know I always enter everything being genuine. I'm genuinely who I am. I'm genuine in a friendship. I'm genuine in a relationship. When with my friends, I'm in relationship with my friends. Our friendship is a form of a relationship. All of that. I treat people, I'm heavy on treating people how I want to be treated. I'm big on treating people, teaching people how to treat me. You got to teach people how to treat you, because you're not going to just treat me any kind of way. Like it's funny because my coworkers, we was in a group chat. We was in a group chat, and I had texted them something that was about work. Neither one of them heifers responded. Right? I was like, oh, I will never text them again. And I have to remove myself of this group chat. for real. So one of my coworkers, they my babies, and one of my coworkers had ended up texting the group chat when I had got to work one day. And he was texting me. And she was like, hey, she's like, Katie, you don't see, he texted the chat. I said, I'm not in that chat. I removed myself from that chat. That chat ain't even on my phone. That group chat not even on my phone. She's like, what? I said, because I text y'all. I text a message that was work related while working. I think this was like the second time too. I said, and neither one of y'all responded. You're not gonna treat me like that. You're not gonna treat me like that. When I text, you're gonna respond. Period. I don't care who you are. You can take it how you want. You know, however you may interpret that. That's not what I'm saying. But I teach people how to treat me. Guess what? We have not had a problem since. I'm not in there. I'm not in there. I don't know what it is. Love them to death. We have a ball at work. So it's just, that's just how I am. We're not going to do that. My one coworker be like, oh, text me the information for this and this. She'd be sitting right there with me. So can you send me this? Because she's vegan. Can you send me this? I'm like, no. Because when I text you, you don't respond. She only responds for a wife. It'd be so funny. She's like, but I just respond for my wife. So you got to get the recipes and stuff for your wife. Don't ask me to send you information because I'm telling you about something. You're like, oh, send it to me. Or I'll show you a video. You like, send it to me. She's like, you petty. I am not. I have boundaries. So you want change? Change. So there's not. I don't get into relationships with dudes and beg them to change. I can't change the man. So I'll change the man. Okay. Let me go to these comments. Off topic. Well, can I shout out my 45th birthday? It's Friday. Yes, you can. Happy, I don't want to say belated. It's early. Happy early 45th birthday, Kia Carpenter. Did I really just have to break your name down like that? Happy birthday to you. Yes, look at you. You are going to be here. You know, you guys give Kia some hearts and thumbs up. Happy birthday to you. I hope you enjoy. So you are what? A Pisces? Are you a Pisces? I don't know when Pisces is over. I'm an Aquarius. That's my prerogative. Okay. Happy birthday. What are your plans? What do you have planned? What are you going to do? Did you guys enjoy the show tonight? I enjoyed the show tonight. We ran over again. Just shout out to TikTok. I got gifts from TikTok. People joined the team on TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. And also, you know, so that was just like a moment of reflection. I feel like we should all reflect. You know, look deep within yourself and see the areas that you can change, who you need to forgive, what are the things you need to let go. Oh gosh, you are a lying Aries. Okay. She says, I'm an Aries. That means you're a little deceitful. Okay. You know, we listen and we don't judge. Shout outs to you. Although you are March Aries, you might be a little different. I know them April Aries. They on the chain. Them April Aries are off the chain. But yeah, I gotta start doing something for birthdays. I used to do stuff for birthdays, y'all. Listen, it is a lot running the business, okay? I'm doing all this stuff. So we are getting back into everything. Also, I've been having fun reviewing the places that I've been going to again. I usually just put them all on YouTube, but now I've been breaking them down and putting them all over on each platform. Showing you guys snippets of that. I'm super excited for that. What's new? Anything else I missed before we get out of here? You have anything special planned for your birthday, mama? Friday. The lies you tell, black girl. Deceitful, not me. The lies you tell, black girl. You're lying to my face right now. You're lying through the screen. You're lying through the screen. 45, girl. That means you done seen some things. Shout outs to you. When I look at my age, when I look at your age, my mom's age, my daughter's age, some of my friends' age, I'm like, Dad, y'all been in the world a long time. That lets you know the world is like 1 billion years old. My party at Melba's on Saturday. Whoa, girl. I ain't been to Melba's in 100 years. I used to go to Mingle Mondays. I used to go to Melba's on Mondays, Wednesdays, Sundays, a Friday, and I think I went on a Saturday. Oh my God, I haven't been to Melba's since I was like 26. Jeez. That's the last time I've been to Melba's. What is it like in there? Melba's used to have some really good fish. What type of music do they play in there? Well, come through. I have the whole back section. I'm mad. Do they have hookah? They don't have hookah, do they? Is Melba still 25 and older? Because I think on like Mingle Mondays, they drop the age down. Oh my gosh, it's ladies' night as well. Oh my God, fun fact. I remember when Melba's, when Peach Ciroc first came out. At that time, I was 24. And Pete Diddy had just came out with Peach Ciroc, and they was selling it for $5. Not a shot at Melba's for $5. A cup. You get it mixed with anything, whatever. And me and my sister went, it wasn't too crowded in there. We went during the week. Maybe it was like a Tuesday or something like that. Me and her friend, oh my God, I got tore down. Okay. Tore down to the ground, ended up getting carried out. She left me in my living room with a trash can. Trifling sister. Yes, she is. And they used to let police in for free. So I used to show my badge and get it for free. Then I think the cover used to be, they also had the cover of $5 or something. It's ladies' night. Girl, I haven't been to Melba's in 100 years. Before I get out of here, what is the music like? You're making me curious. I have not been to Melba's. I have not been there in 1,000,000 years. I wouldn't even know what to do inside of Melba's. I'll probably be like a deer in headlights. Melba's drinks will have you calling the Lord. So you go frequently. You go there frequently? What is Saturday? I know I have the church brunch on Saturday. Girl, I don't know them. DJ Nitro will be on the 1s and 2s. I don't know no DJ Nitro. Now you talking to me like I know. Thank you for talking to me like I know though. I had to look them up. DJ Nitro. So what is this? Not like I used to. Is this gonna be like a bunch of house music? I like house music. They used to have the rock and house music. Is this gonna be house music? You know, R&B. I'm not really an R&B girl. I'm a more like bang bang shoot 'em up track rap girl. That's what I'm a rap girl. Oh, and like I said, Kevin Gates' new album came out today. So far, that thing is thinging. I'm loving it. Oh, and your girl is down 6 more pounds. Shout out to me. Shout outs to me for that. A mix of different types of music. See, you had me at first. Now you're losing me. That sounds like a setup. Sounds like a setup, honey. Congrats, I need to lose 40. I'm trying to lose 80. Girl, we can do it. I'm doing it slowly. But it's falling off. I'm losing a lot of inches, too. I'm losing a lot of inches. What else? I think blip, blip, blip. I think that's all, folks. Oh well, I'm going to enjoy it regardless. Girl, yes, it's your birthday. You know, you don't care. Your adrenaline is going to be on 1,000. I may try to come there. I don't know. I haven't been in 100 years. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you guys share the show tonight. Follow. Are you on my TikTok? Are you subscribed to the YouTube channel? You guys, make sure you do that. You know, push us where we need to be. What else? Well, we got 2 more weeks left of this month. Is it 2 or maybe 1? I think we got like 2 more weeks left. Oh no, we got one more Wednesday. Dang, next Wednesday is the last Wednesday of March. Dang. Next Wednesday is the next Wednesday of March. Then we, the 26th, and then we won't be back here until the 2nd. So I hope you guys share the show out for me tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. But I tell you all the time, when you see me post, when you see my post, engage, interact with the post, share the post, comment on the post. Let's push into the algorithm. You know, I'm a one-man army and I got to push me. You understand? But with your help, I can get a lot further. Okay? So, you know, make sure you continue to be great. If you don't like what's going on around you, you can change it in the blink of an eye. So continue to be great. Have fun. Happy early birthday. And I will see you guys next week.
And he called his secret, you see.